Showtime? Showtime. Take this off the table, actually. All right, what is good? What is good with you guys, man? Got 11 people in here. You love to see it. So, title of the stream, watch this if you want to improve your life. Ask me any questions related to self-improvement. Anything that you want to know about leveling up, bossing up, glowing up, anything. Just ask me anything about any of those topics. Anything that falls under that umbrella of just becoming a better version of you. You know it's going to be a good day when Jordan streams. Hey, man, shout out to my boy Juan, bro. You love to see it, man. You love to see it. What's good? Hey, everyone. Hope y'all are good and having a great weekend. Bluey LT, what's good with you? JD the Art God, what's good? Cameron, what's good? Other Cameron, what's good? Jamarl, what's good? Yosemite, what to do if I have two paths I want to go down? So that's actually a really, really good question, because that's something that I myself struggled with very recently, as you guys probably saw with writing and YouTube. I think the key is to figure out the common passion, right? So I realized I'm not actually passionate about YouTube. I'm not passionate about writing. I know a lot about YouTube and I'm gifted at writing, but my true passion is helping people out, right? So writing and YouTube are simply ways in which I can help a lot of people out at one time. So, and also consultations, right? Like these are things that just the things themselves, I'm not necessarily super enthusiastic about all the time. But if I know that I'm helping people, then that right there is the passion. So figure out the commonalities between the two paths. There's always going to be some type of thread between the two. Figure out what that thread is and focus more on that. If you focus on that, you'll be able to balance the two paths, and maybe those two paths might diverge into more paths, maybe 4 paths, 8 paths, whatever. Once you figure out that common thread, you'll be able to pursue your purpose in any capacity that seems fit to you at that moment in time. Hey, man. Shout out to my boy Drew, bro. Shout out to my boy Drew. Love to see it. Okay, hold on. Where was I? How do you do a caloric deficit? So basically, I mean, it's pretty simple. You just you just consume less calories. Wait, hold on. Hold on real quick, bro. That just scrambled my brain. You consume less calories than you burn. Yeah. You consume less calories than you burn. I could be saying that backwards. I don't know. I don't know why that's so confusing in my head, but yeah. Basically, you just track your calories. That's the most simple way to do it. Me personally, I don't do that. I don't track my calories because I'm not necessarily trying to bulk or cut, but track your calories. If you really want to focus on being in a caloric deficit or a caloric surplus, you're going to need to track your calories and weigh your food out. I would recommend that you go and watch the stream that me and Akash did on the Spiritual Drew channel. I'll go ahead and type the name right here because he went really in depth on all of the intricacies of that. So you can go to that channel and check out the stream that me and him did. Or you can go to my community post, and I think I shouted out the stream. Hey Jordan, any tips to be more social and extroverted? So that's a really good question. One thing that I've realized is that I feel like if you're introverted, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like there's nothing wrong with having quiet confidence and being maybe more of an observer. I realized that that's something about me that I don't necessarily need to change, and you don't need to change that either. With that being said, if you want to be maybe a better conversationalist, or if you want to be able to approach people, it's more about being confident within yourself. All right. If you're not confident within yourself, you're not going to feel comfortable presenting yourself to other people, because you're subconsciously relying on their validation to make yourself feel worthy of interacting with others and having genuine human connection. So if you love yourself and you give yourself the validation from the get-go by doing the shadow work, by healing from childhood trauma, which is typically the primary cause behind social anxiety and things like that, maybe rejections that you experienced in the past, that's where you're able to effectively transcend any traumas that you have and you can become socially electric. I've definitely had scenarios where people have mistaken me for an extrovert, and I could see how maybe on camera it may seem that way, but in reality, I'm probably one of the biggest introverts that there are, bro. I promise you that. I promise you that. But once you really get to know yourself and you become comfortable and confident in your own skin, you'll become comfortable expressing yourself to other people. How to gain muscle consistently, caloric surplus and progressive overload. Consume more calories than you burn and consistently up the amount of weight that you're doing in the gym. If you do those two things right there and you focus on the compound lifts, you'll put on weight. Muscle at that. How to increase productivity, time management, good time management. Okay, if you build productivity into your day-to-day routine, you will be productive just by the very nature of the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Something that I like to do is I like to start my day off by being productive, right? So for example, some people, and I used to be really guilty of this, man. Some people, they'll wake up and they'll get on their phones and they'll just be on their phones scrolling through social media and things like that. I don't do that. I wake up, basically, if you go and watch my day in the life of a YouTuber video, you'll see what my morning routine looks like. And when you start your day off already being productive, that momentum will carry over. You're gonna wanna continue being productive. Now, I would also say waking up early does help. You don't necessarily have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I wake up at 10 typically. But if you wake up earlier, you have more time, right? And of course, if you sleep 8 hours, it doesn't really matter what time you sleep or what time you sleep, because you're gonna have the same amount of time anyways, but not all hours are built the same. So figure out the hours that are most conducive for you in terms of productivity and just make those hours your primary productive hours. But like I said, if you start your day off being productive, you'll carry that momentum over. And like I said, good time management, prioritizing the things that you need to get done before the things that you want to do. If you can do that, not only will you be more productive, but you'll enjoy your free time a lot more because you don't have the added pressure of having incomplete tasks in the back of your mind. Ooh, hold on. Just skipped all the way to the bottom. How do I find my true passion? I have 2 videos that I recently posted about that. Well, I guess those are more purpose related. When you're looking for your passion, the thing that you genuinely love to do, it's really effective to consult with your younger self. Think back to when you were a child, before you were told what you were supposed to be doing in your life, before you were told what's acceptable and what's achievable, what's realistic and all of that. What did you like to do? Think about your childhood, especially your formative years, okay? Age 8 and below. What did you like to do as a kid? Okay, aside from normal kid stuff, what were the things that piqued your attention at the time? If you can focus on those things, you'll figure it out pretty quickly. But also, another, he asked the question too, but another great way to find your passion is obviously exposure, just trying a lot of different things. But you'll know you found your passion when you constantly find yourself in the flow state. When you're in the flow state doing something, like me giving advice, I often find myself in the flow state and I just want to do it. And money isn't really a factor in that. I just genuinely enjoy doing it. So when you find something that you like to do for free, for nothing in return, you just enjoy the process of doing it and you enjoy the outcome, that's when you found your passion. Green of Jordan. Do you think David Goggins is inspirational? Absolutely. He's very, very inspirational. I haven't read his book yet. I probably should add that to my list, but the thing that inspires me the most about him in listening to his interviews is his vulnerability, right? Like, I always thought that he was just this really hardcore, cutthroat dude, but when you actually listen to him talk and he talks about doing the shadow work and healing from abusive parents and just unhealthy situations in his childhood dealing with racism and things like that. To me, that's the most inspirational aspect of his story because it gives you the background, it gives you the context as to why he is the way that he is. So I think that that's my primary takeaway from his journey. Do you take cold showers? Yes. For whatever reason, my shower at my apartment, I have to choose between getting the right water pressure and making it as cold as I actually want it to be. But I do take cold showers. Cold showers are normal to me at this point. Like I don't know. I don't really they're enjoyable for me. What's up, Jordan? What's good, bro? Been working on myself for years, but I don't have any like-minded friends at the moment. Loneliness is more apparent and I don't want to regress. Advice. All right, so I've definitely been in a similar position. I think that whenever I got started on my self-development journey, and especially my spiritual journey, just learning about manifestation and things like that, my friends didn't really understand what I was talking about, and the conversations quickly became less enjoyable because they just didn't get me, right? But what I realized is that if you lead by example and you show people the results, the people who belong in your life, they're going to assimilate to that, right? And that's not to say that they're conforming to your life, but they're going to elevate alongside you. So all of my friends, all of the people who are in my life have elevated since that time. In the not like we all elevate in our own ways, but I've elevated, they've elevated, therefore we're all still a group. And as long as you can lead by example, then like I said, the people who belong in your life, they're going to elevate as well. They're going to follow your example and eventually they'll set the example for other people as well. But in the short term, as far as dealing with the loneliness, I understand how difficult and frustrating that can be, but it's better to be alone with yourself than to be around people who make you feel lonely. So there were definitely chapters of my life where I had to isolate myself, bro. I'm talking about I had to just disappear off the face of the planet for a couple of months and really lock in on me and just figuring out my direction in life and generating momentum in that direction. So I think something that could really help you is to be active in the self-development community on the internet, right? Like I know they have Reddit forums and things like that. Obviously, my community is a very, very positive, uplifting community. That's why I always encourage people to not just comment on the videos, but to interact with each other. Like you don't just comment and just talk to me in the comments. Comment on other people's comments, reply to people's comments. I want to see that discourse between all of you because you're all like-minded people, for better or for worse. Like you typically have at least the baseline of wanting to improve yourself. That is the baseline foundational commonality between everybody in my community. And as long as you have that commonality, you're going to resonate with everyone in the community in some way, shape, or form. So just be active in the community. And it doesn't just have to be on my channel. You can do that on anyone else's channel as well. But just be active on YouTube. That I made a lot of my friends on YouTube. A lot of my friends who have inspired me quite a bit on my journey. How do I bring back happiness in my life? Last time I was genuinely happy was 2017. Ask yourself what made you happy at that time. What made you genuinely happy at that time? Okay, because if you sit here and you just reflect on, oh man, I wish I was happy, you're never going to be happy because all you're doing is wishing for it. Happiness is really a choice. And I know you probably don't want to hear that. I know I myself would not have wanted to hear that in the past either, but it's a choice in the sense that you are in control of your own life, right? So you get to determine the people that you surround yourself with. For the most part, okay, you might have work situations or schooling situations, familial situations, things like that. But more or less, you get to control how you spend your time, who you spend your time with, and what you spend your time doing, right? Where you spend your time, all of these things. You get to control all of these things because you get to control your perspective. Okay, so happiness is really the result of your perspective in life. Changing your external situation may make your mind more conducive to happiness, but over time, when your mind adapts, you're going to return back to that same unhappy state. So I would say the most important thing is gratitude. Gratitude is the key to happiness. It's not money, it's not relationships, it's not any success, none of that. It's gratitude. Being grateful for where you are, being grateful for who you are, and being grateful for the fact that you're even here at all. Right? So start a gratitude journal. Every single day, write down 10 things that you're grateful for. 10 things that you're grateful for every day right after you wake up, and your happiness level will increase. I can assure you of that. I'm speaking from experience. Let me get some water before I answer this one. I need some water, bro. Jordan, do you think mental health is rising due to social media, or was mental health there in the 1970s but with no awareness? I think it's a mix of both. I definitely think it's a mix of both. I feel like social media enables comparison. It even facilitates comparison in a lot of ways. And I do feel like, to my point just now about gratitude, when you compare yourself to other people, it kind of strips you of the feeling of gratitude for your own life and your own life position. So that's why I feel like getting off of social media has really helped me to elevate my mental health and just be in a better headspace overall. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I still have my down days, but I feel like social media, like I said, enables comparison when you consume certain types of content, right? And especially if you're already an insecure person to begin with, which typically when you're younger, you're going to be insecure based on the simple fact that you don't really know who you are yet. So I feel like in that way, it can build up foundational insecurity. And I feel like a lot of people nowadays don't really know who they are. They don't have a good sense of self because their whole sense of self is derived from social media and from just seeing other people and how they think. It enables groupthink at the mass level. And a part of groupthink is kind of the relinquishing of your own individual identity, and not knowing who you are is the foundation for depression. So I do think, yeah, that is true. But I also do feel like social media has helped heighten awareness for mental health issues. So it's exacerbated the issue, because obviously mental health issues have always been there. It's exacerbated the issue, but it's also shed more light on the issue. So you see more of it as well. That's my personal take. How do I find happiness if the only thing that makes me happy is women, but I get none? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if the only thing that makes you happy is women, you're never going to be happy. Okay, I can tell you that right now, because if you think that a relationship or sex or any of that is going to just come in and fill that void that you have, you're sadly mistaken. And I'm telling you that right now because, you see, you're saying that you're not getting any women. To me, that's a blessing. That's actually a blessing in your favor, because the worst thing that can happen is for you to go and get a woman and realize that she's not going to make you happy. And then you'll be in a really, really, really low headspace. Okay, so you got to focus on finding your happiness within, which, like I said, that comes from gratitude. You have to be grateful for where you are. You have to develop a relationship with yourself. If you don't develop a relationship with yourself, you cannot develop a relationship with a woman. It doesn't matter if you get into a relationship, you can't be in a relationship with a woman if you don't have a relationship with yourself. Because who really are you? Who are you? Who are you when you're single? Okay, that's a whole different. You have to figure out who you are in order to be able to present. In order to be able to present yourself to a woman and be a part of that relationship. And also, I think a very, very big, how do I put this? A mistake that a lot of people make, in my opinion, and I did this as well at one point, is people seek out relationships because they're trying to take from the other person. They want to take their attention, take their affection, take their validation, right? They're focused on taking because they feel empty within. But what ends up happening is you develop codependencies, right? Which is why I had an anxious attachment style, is because I was constantly looking to take. I was very clingy. I wanted to be around whichever girl I was interacting with at the time, all the time. I wanted to be in constant communication because I was insecure, because I didn't really love myself. Now, what I realized over time is that you can't rely on somebody else to fill your cup for you. It's not sustainable. You have to fill your own cup, and you'll know that your cup is full when you approach relationships with the intention of giving as opposed to taking. When your primary intention in a relationship is to give affection, to give appreciation and understanding and validation to the other person, that's when you know that you're ready for a relationship. Feels like forever since I caught a stream. Life isn't how it was 2 years ago. For better or for worse. 2 years ago, wow, yeah. That's crazy, man. A lot can change in 2 years. A lot can change in 2 years. But I know you're still young, though. So whatever is going on in your life right now, you got it, bro. You're still young. You still have a lot of time. How are you supposed to burn more than you eat? By exercising more and eating less. Literally, that's really what it comes down to, bro. Exercising more and eating less. Look, I sat there and watched my friend. This was back in high school. I watched my friend drop, had to have been like 80 pounds, bro, in maybe a year. I'm talking about, it was insane, bro. Basically, what he did is he would water fast like probably a few days every week. He would water fast. He was in the gym pretty much every day. Crazy, crazy transformation. So implement water fasting for sure. But yeah, exercise more and eat less. That's really what it comes down to. Started my YouTube channel earlier this week and it's hugely inspired by you. I combine both my passions of music and helping people, and I'll be going full throttle with it. I'm gonna make you proud. You already made me proud, bro. For real. If you're following your passion, bro, if you've committed to carving out your own path in life and finding the intersections between the things that you genuinely enjoy doing, you've already made me proud, bro. Focus on making yourself proud more than anything. And you should be proud of yourself for taking that initial leap. How do I heal from childhood trauma? Sometimes I cry after losing in a video game. How are those two? Okay, so are you saying that you're emotionally unstable or you have anger issues or something like that? Because if that's the case, I feel like maybe you need to leave video games alone for a little bit. And I know that because I definitely, back in the Black Ops 1 days, bro, Call of Duty Black Ops 1, I had crazy anger issues, bro, related to that game. But I think that what I realized is I maybe bought into the idea of competition a little too much. I think that when you turn video games into a zero-sum game in which there has to be a winner and a loser, that's when you start to lose that sense of enjoyment for it. I feel like just in general, the more you move away from the competitive belief system and you start to move toward collaboration or really just personal accountability and just enjoyment of the process, that's when you can kind of heal from a lot of childhood trauma. And I said this I think it was in the I Found God video, but pretty much all trauma can be traced back to the illusion of separation. So if you focus on making everything in your life, every action that you take, every word that you speak, every thought that you think, every feeling that you feel, if you can align all of those things in the direction of integration, or you just align them with the concept of integration, you'll be able to heal from your traumas. And you'll be able to enjoy your life a lot more. Because you realize that, okay, I might win or lose this game, but ultimately I'm having fun. Therefore, I've already won. And that applies to sports as well, too. I know it did not just skip me down to the bottom, bro. Hold on real quick. I saw a good question. Here we go. As a person who naturally has deep conversations with others, I find it difficult to have them with people who can't relate and don't understand me. Thoughts? Good question. Let me get some water first. So, to my point earlier, I do feel like it can definitely be difficult when people just don't understand what you're talking about. Like when I first started bringing up manifestation to people around me, especially to my friends, they didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, bro. They weren't buying into it, bro. Everything is energy, things like that. They couldn't really, I'm not gonna say they couldn't, but they just weren't really in the same space that I was in because they weren't going through the same things I was going through. With that being said, I feel like for you, it's more about living your principles as opposed to speaking your principles, if that makes sense. So focus more on applying the principles. I understand that deep conversations are very enjoyable to have with, especially with the people that you love, but focus on living your principles and leading by example, right? Like you're a young dude, lead by example, lead the other people who are in your age range and show them that the things that you're talking about are actually applicable. Because a lot of people they avoid those conversations, and it's not so much because they are just consciously trying to denounce your beliefs, but it's because they don't necessarily see how it can be pragmatic in their lives, how it's applicable in their day-to-day lives. So if you can show them that your way of thinking can help them elevate themselves, and like I said, you're the example for that, that's when people will start to maybe be a little more open-minded and they'll be a little more receptive to what you have to say. And then they'll start doing their own research. That curiosity will naturally begin to peak, and that's when they start acquiring the information and coming back to you with different insights. And now you can bounce off of each other. But it's a process. It definitely takes some time. But in the meantime, like I said, man, my community, I mean, there's a lot of people. I feel like I have so many people who all ask me that same general question, just maybe framed a little bit differently. In that a lot of people in my community feel alone. They feel like there's nobody that relates to them. But all of you relate to each other. Like, for the most part, all of you relate to each other. You all believe in self-improvement. You all have the same fundamental beliefs about elevating yourselves. So if you can just, if you're all active in the community, you'll find your tribe, if you will. This man said, how to parkour slash shoulder roll. I've never been able to get it down. So I think I did go through a little parkour phase. It's my understanding that when you land, I think you're supposed to roll to the opposite shoulder. So say if you land, well, I guess you land on both feet, but I don't know. I just remember you're supposed to kind of land, you're supposed to kind of land directly into the roll, if that makes sense. Now, don't go and just jump off of a 40-foot building and then try this right now and then come, trying to file a lawsuit against me because you broke your legs. You need to practice that. Okay, you need to practice it off of, maybe jump off of a bench and then hit the roll there, and then over time you can progress. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5 years is a very long time. 5 years ago, I was 17. So to say that, I don't even know if I can project that far, bro. I really, honestly, I take my life 1 month at a time. I really take my life 1 month at a time. But I would say 5 years from now, I can definitely see myself being a #1 New York Times bestselling author. I feel like that's inevitable at this point. But I feel like I'll definitely have 1 million subs on YouTube. That's another thing. But these are just goals though. Like, these are things that are changing outside of me. But as far as who I'm going to be as a person, I think I'll just be an upgraded version of myself right now. I'm just going to be pretty much like how I am right now, but just better in every aspect. Do you take freezing cold showers or just cool showers? Right now, I just take cool showers because my shower will not go to cold. If I go to cold, the water only comes out of it comes out of half of the shower head. So I have to stand directly next to the wall, just really uncomfortable. But in the winter, it's freezing cold, bro. Freezing cold showers. I'm kind of far behind. Nah, Jordan just being humble, saying he's 5'9", he's really like 6 feet. I need to go to the doctor and actually get measured, bro. I'm pretty sure I'm 5'9". I'm pretty sure I'm 5'9" without shoes. But I might have grown, who knows? Hey Jordan, I need some help. I liked a girl in school and I asked her out, but she rejected me. But recently she's been talking to me a lot more and getting physically close. How do I stop her? Okay, hold on real quick, man. So, with girls like that, bro, I feel like you just have to kind of be upfront with them. You can't play with my feelings like that. You can't be moving the way that you're moving. You told me that you weren't into me like that, so don't act like it. If a person's actions and their words don't align, that might not be a person that you want to be spending a lot of time with, bro. If I'm gonna just keep it real with you, because especially when you're talking about a girl and a girl that you probably still like, I'm assuming that you probably still like her. Like I said, if I were you, I would just distance myself from her altogether. Just distance myself, set very clear and defined boundaries. Clear and defined boundaries, and don't give her the opportunity to get physically close to you like that. It's interesting how some guys think they can't live without women. We underestimate our own value. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I feel like when you found a place that you're content with being with yourself, that's when you'll enjoy a relationship. It's very paradoxical. You see, the thing is, a lot of the fulfillment of our desires requires requires the relinquishment of our egos, right? So your egoic line of thinking is that I need this so that I can feel this. But in reality, it's really the opposite. I feel this so that I can get this. Because if you're, I always say this, bro, but if you have a lack mindset, it doesn't matter what you achieve in your external reality. You're still going to feel the same on the inside. Therefore, your life isn't going to change. If you're not grateful for where you are, if you're not in a strong relationship with yourself, you're not going to be in a strong relationship with the girl either. You're just not going to be able to do that. So you have to learn to love yourself. You have to. It's literally the only way you can be in a relationship. And especially the only way that you can sustain a relationship. Y'all listen to that new Giveon. Hey man, I'm gonna keep it real. I listened to most of the album yesterday, but I had to leave, so I didn't get a chance to finish it. But those first couple of songs, bro, there were a few lyrics that he said, bro. I think it was my last love was cold, so now I have to be the coldest or something like that, bro. I was like, man, I needed that album. Hey, another really good song that you guys should listen to. I'm gonna probably do another music stream soon. It's by oh my god, what's his name? Is it Joji? It's called Glimpse of Us. Bro, I needed that song, man. I needed that song a while back. It came a little too late, but that song is absolutely phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal. Hey Jordan, I'm following you for 3 months already and your content is very valuable. But can you introduce yourself shortly because I think many people don't know how you're making money or even your age. That's interesting to think about. Well, my name is Jordan Green. I make self-development videos and I'm also an author. I published my first book this year. It's called Soul Shock. I have a link in the description of this video as well as all of my other videos. I also do consultations via Wizio, wizio.com/Jordan Green. You can check that out. And what else? I'm 22 years old. I turned 22 March 14th of this year. And what else? I mean, I make the majority of my money through YouTube. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, man. I work for myself. I'm a full-time creative. I won't just say I'm a full-time YouTuber. I'm a full-time creative. That means writer, YouTuber, life coach, all of that. I do all of those things to make a living. I just go and watch my old videos, man. Go and watch my old videos so you can get kind of caught up on my journey. I think the best video you could watch to learn about my journey would be Oh my God, what was it called, bro? Uh, I spoke my life into existence. I spoke my life into existence. Go and look up that video on my channel. If you're new to my channel and you want to know more about my journey, that is pretty much my entire YouTube journey summed up into like a 6-minute video with Ramen and OJ as the background track. Might be my favorite video that I've ever made up to this point. Hi Jordan, how to be okay despite problems in your everyday life. How to keep your head high while facing depression. So obviously with depression, it's a very slippery slope because if you're clinically depressed to the extent that, here's the thing, okay? Chemical depression is, there's a chemical aspect of it in your brain, there's a biological aspect of it, but at the same time, the biological aspect is the cause or it's the effect of something else in your life, right? So if you focus on certain things, your brain will respond in a certain way. So in my opinion, depression is the cause of sustained lack of self-worth. When you have a sustained lack of self-worth over a long period of time, you develop depression. Now, depending on your level of depression, you may need to seek medication. Okay, I would definitely recommend that you seek therapy, if nothing else. But if you're not going to do any of that, for whatever reason, okay, if you don't want to seek external help, get a gratitude journal. Start off with that. Get a gratitude journal and get out into nature. Those are two things. You have to find ways to center yourself. You can't outperform depression. You can't outachieve depression. You have to find a way to center yourself in the present moment. When you can center yourself in the present moment, your depression will dissipate. I promise you that. It may not happen the first time that you go out into nature. It may not happen the first time that you open that gratitude journal. But if you continue to do that, you're breaking the pattern. Like I said, depression is the result of a sustained lack of self-worth. So a sustained acknowledgement of your self-worth and appreciation of self is going to undo the effects, and eventually you'll be in the green, if you will, as far as your mental health, and you'll be building upon that. And then you'll reach a point where you're not only satisfied with who you are, but you love who you are, and you can operate from that space of self-love. I'm turning 19 in 2 months, and it sucks that I'm getting older. The older I get, the less life to live. I think that's a very cynical way of looking at life. I feel like the older you get, the wiser you are. The older you get, the more experience you have and the more memories that you've made. And if you're not making memories, then you need to reevaluate how you're spending your time and how you're living your life. But to me, I just think of it as, I don't think of it as less life to live. I think of it as the more time I've accumulated in my life, the more wisdom that I have that I can pass forth to other people such that I live on forever. And that's kind of, and obviously, once you realize that you are your teachings, you are your wisdom, and that in a sense, everybody is just information, we're all just bundles of energy and information, you start to look at life a little bit differently. Do you think it's okay to play games while on self-improvement? Yes, I do. I do believe, me personally, okay, I'm gonna keep it completely real with you. I stopped playing video games because I started to look at life as a video game. I started to look at myself as the main character of a game that allows me to level up at my own discretion. With that being said, I think that everyone should have something that they do that isn't necessarily the most productive thing, but it's something that they do because it brings them present moment fulfillment. Now, if you're using video games as a form of escapism, then no, you should probably cut video games out because you need to face your issues head on. But at the same time, if you're okay with where you're at in life right now, if you're happy with who you are, there's nothing wrong with playing video games. Just do it in moderation. Let me get some water real quick, bro. What's up, Jordan? I've been stuck in this rut since the start of summer, and I've been relapsing on PMO and living like a bum in my room all day. Is there any advice you can give me? So there's a few different things I could tell you right now. I'm gonna just tell you all of them. Okay, so the first thing is you need to have more compassion for yourself. When you use terminology like bum, like living like a bum, I understand that it's important to acknowledge where you're at and maybe some of your shortcomings so that you can fix them. But if you don't have compassion for yourself, why would you want better for yourself? And that's something that you guys need to understand, bro, is negative self-talk does not get you anywhere. Calling yourself a bum, calling yourself weak, that's not going to get you anywhere. You have to understand that compassion allows you to subconsciously build up a self-perception that will make doing the self-development practices natural to you. So for me, for example, because I've developed such a, I don't want to just say high self-perception, but such a respectable self-perception, things like nofap and cold showers and just utilizing my time in efficient ways, that's natural to me. So you have to be willing to be compassionate with yourself. You have to be kind to yourself. Now, once you have that understanding that you need to be compassionate with yourself and you start putting that into practice, there's also the understanding that you are accountable. You are solely accountable for your own life. So you clearly want better, or you wouldn't have asked me that question. You wouldn't even be in this stream if you didn't want better for yourself, which shows that you already have somewhat of a sense of compassion. You know that you deserve better. So take that and expand that. Expand that feeling of compassion and take accountability for your life. Okay, take full accountability and start taking definite action. Start to undo the process that got you into the situation that you're in right now. Whatever thought patterns and whatever belief systems are keeping you where you are, you need to first of all become aware of them, illuminate them, and then you need to eradicate them or eliminate them. And once you do that and replace those negative belief systems and thought patterns with positive ones, that's when the actions will follow naturally. Hey Jordan, I wanted to ask, do you ever think about or are you cognizant of you projecting your insecurities onto your children in the future? This was something I was thinking about. I'm 20, by the way. Well, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I don't know that I'm gonna ever have children, if I'm being completely honest with you. But in the event that I do have children, that is something that I've thought about. I've definitely considered the idea of how I want to cultivate. Here's my thing. I want to make sure that my children are very self-assured, very confident in themselves. So I want them to experience a little bit of adversity, and I want them to experience wins and losses and things like that. And I want to just teach them to never lose that inner child. I want them to always have that inner creativity and that inner freedom. With that being said, I understand that I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's parents are perfect, which is why nobody's perfect. Okay, imperfection breeds imperfection. Perfection isn't the goal. Awareness is the goal. So as long as I'm aware, I can do the best that I possibly can to help break any patterns, any generational patterns that there may be in terms of my subconscious belief systems related to myself, related to my race, related to finances, anything like that. Just being able to be aware is usually about 80% of the battle. And if you can pass forth that awareness to your children, teach them how to embrace their feelings, teach them how to express themselves in healthy, productive ways and to cope with their emotions, that's when they can kind of do the inner work for themselves and they can build up a solid enough foundation to where I can't project my insecurities onto them. What drew you towards quitting social media and video games? What is your life like as a result? Let me get some water for this one, bro. Get some water. So video games GTA 5, that was my favorite video game of all time, still is to this day. And I still say that when GTA 6 drops in 20 years, I'm going to go and get a console and I'm going to get on GTA 6. I'm going to play that game. But the reason why I quit GTA 5, once I graduated high school, I started to realize that I could actually I could cultivate a certain type of life for myself. So at the time, all I really cared about was money. I was like, okay, I just want to be rich, right? And I was spending my time on the video game. I'm robbing stores, I'm doing missions and things like that to get the money. And I remember one day I just had this epiphany that I'm spending my time getting my in-game character money when I could be getting myself money. And as soon as I had that epiphany, the game I lost all of my enjoyment for the game in that one moment. I'm pretty sure after that, I turned the game off. Like I turned my PS4 off and I never turned it back on after that. I ended up selling it. And same with 2K. That was the other game that I played a lot. I remember I was just playing 2K and I looked outside. I'm like, damn, bro, the weather is nice. Like, why am I inside playing a basketball video game when I could go outside and play basketball in real life? Never played it again after that. Now, as far as social media goes, I think for me, it was kind of a sign that occurred in my life. It was just this very weird. I wouldn't. It seems like a coincidence from the outside looking in, but if you read Soul Shock and you get the context of that book, then you might understand how it was just a sign. So basically, early 2020, I was really starting to lock in on YouTube because I was working at H&M and I was like, bro, I do not want to work at this job anymore. So I need to lock the fuck in. And I remember I kind of had it in my mind that I wanted to quit social media, but I was scared to do so because at the time, that's how I was promoting my YouTube videos. I would post my video and then I would share it on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. And I thought that that's where I was getting most of my views from. Turns out it wasn't. But I would constantly just go back and forth with that idea in my mind. And I remember one day I woke up and I just had it in my mind like, bro, I need to delete social media. Because I was one of those people, bro, that I would be on Snapchat I'll take a picture of myself, rise and grind, bread season, all of that type of shit, bro. And then I'll just go in and scroll on Twitter for 2 hours right after. I was one of those types of people. I realized, okay, first of all, nobody fucking cares, bro. Like, nobody cares. Let me go and actually live these things. Okay, the real work occurs behind the scenes. So let me go and actually live the things that I'm preaching and just go ghost from social media for a little bit. But I still didn't have the courage to take action on it for whatever reason. Now, the girl that I was talking to at the time, which Soul Shock, okay, read Soul Shock if you don't really know what I'm talking about. But the girl that I was talking to at the time, I didn't mention this to her, but I don't know how this shit happened. Maybe like a few days passed by after I had that idea, and she just hits me up. She texts me, and she said, hey, if you want to reach out to me or if you want to talk to me here, like through my phone number. Talk to me here because I just deleted all my social media. And I was like, all right, bro, that's a sign if I ever seen one before. So deleted social media. And I think really just once I got a taste of living without social media and I realized how much time I'd actually been wasting on it, I realized that there's really no point in me being on it. Now, as far as what my life is like as a result, I just have a lot more free time. A lot more free time. Like, I can do all of my work. I can do a video every single day. I can write. I can do all of my self-care practices and still have a major chunk of free time every single day. That was a very long-winded answer. I need some more water now. Jordan, do you believe men and women can be just friends? I personally don't believe that, but I want to hear your opinion on it. I don't think there's a cut and dry answer for that. I've definitely argued with people on that before. I think it's just a case by case basis. Some men can be friends with some women. Some men can't be friends with any women. Vice versa. Some men can be friends with some women, but it's a case by case basis. Giveon is high-key toxic as hell. Listen to Lost Me. Yeah, he is extremely toxic, bro. Extremely toxic. I gotta be careful listening to music like that, bro. Definitely. Jordan, it has been an honor seeing my comment in your live stream. Baron, I don't know how to say your name, but it's been an honor seeing your comment in my live stream. Jordan, any advice on getting abs? So, I wanted to make a video on that, how to get abs. But you guys have to understand, I'm one of those people. I had a six pack in fourth grade, bro. Before I ever started working out, I was just built like that. With that being said, I do feel like anybody can get abs. It's just a matter of how clean your diet is, for one. And I don't even think you need to do ab workouts. I think it's more about doing cardio, just burning fat. Do a lot of cardio and you will get abs, bro. Do a lot of cardio, eat very clean, and you'll get abs. Plain and simple. What's good, Chels? Make a full day of eating video and supplements you take. I actually filmed that, I believe, last Tuesday, like this past Tuesday. I can't tell you when the video is going to come out because I'm 2 weeks ahead right now. But be on the lookout for that video. It's already filmed. It's literally in the vault right now. Ready. I could upload it right now if I wanted to. But I'm going to make y'all wait. I'm going to make you guys wait, man, because I have a lot of banger videos in between that I want to post first. But where was I? Did it really just bring me all the way? Okay, here we go. How do I battle the immense sadness that comes with loneliness? By learning to appreciate your own company. And I know that is easier said than done, but one thing that will really help you, and this seems like counterintuitive advice, go to a place that is all people that you cannot relate to. Okay, so for me, for example, going to a club or a bar, if I really wasn't enjoying my own company, I would go out to a place like that where I can't relate to any of the people there. Because once I'm back with myself in my own apartment, suddenly I appreciate my own company more because I realize that I'm the only one who can understand myself to the extent that I want to be understood. So in that same way, when you talk about loneliness, there's different types of loneliness. There's the type of loneliness that stems from the lack of people around you, which that's literally just a matter of leaving your house, just going out somewhere. But then there's the loneliness, which I suspect that you're probably talking about, which is the feeling of being misunderstood, the feeling that nobody gets you. Because you can be around people who don't actually get you. But like I said, being around the people who don't get you can help you appreciate your own company that much more. And like I said, my channel, my community, talk to each other in the comments. Like I said, don't just talk to me. Don't just comment, hey Jordan, I appreciate the video. I appreciate those comments, don't get me wrong. But talk to each other. If you see somebody else that asks a question in my comment section, answer the question. If you feel like you can provide insight, which you probably can, answer their question. Sup, Jordan? I'm from South Africa. Just want some advice on self-improvement because I always get disturbed by females. So any advice on how to cut the females? It's really just a matter of prioritizing your work first. So the way that I structure my days, it's borderline impossible for me to be distracted by women because I'm not going to go out until I finish everything I need to finish. Once you finished all of your work, all of your self-care practices, go and talk to as many women as you want to. Okay, go ahead and do that, bro, because you've earned that. You've done everything that you needed to do. So it's not so much a matter of eliminating that aspect of your life. It's a matter of prioritizing something else before that. Prioritize the things that you need to do before the things that you want to do. And that right there will take care of itself. Bro said in 20 years. You think I'm playing, bro? GTA 5 came out in 2013, man. It's been almost 10 years. I remember I was in 8th grade, bro. I remember that day. I was in 8th grade. My dad picked me up from middle school, bro. I am 22. They still have not come. They've dropped that game on 3 different generations of platforms, bro. Tripping. I can't wait to see you up there as one of the biggest writers of our generation. You got this, Jordan. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Look, let me tell you something, bro. When you guys see this manifestation book, it's going to shake shit up, bro. It's going to shake shit up. Because I'm reading all of these manifestation books and I'm taking all of that information and I'm conflating all of it, just putting it all into one place. All of the articles that I've read, blog posts, videos that I've watched, experiences that I've had, everything. It's all in this book, bro. Stay tuned. And my poetry book. Not to mention my poetry book, bro. If you enjoyed Soul Shock, this next book is just on a different level in every single aspect. So stay tuned, bro. That matter of fact, that book is pretty much done. I just need to format it and maybe do an introduction or something. You changed my life, bro. All of you changed my life, man. I appreciate you, bro. I feel like attempting nofap is making me hate myself more. And see, that's the thing. That is the exact opposite intended effect of nofap, right? So the problem is that you're placing your self-worth into the outcome as opposed to the process. Understand that nofap is not something that it's not a win-lose thing. That's why I changed my perspective on relapses. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still on 2 years. Because even though I relapsed a few times, what is the opposite of relapsing? The opposite of relapsing is turning it into a lifestyle. And once you've turned it into a lifestyle, there is no losing. There's no losing nofap. There's no failing nofap. You don't reset your streak. You're simply on nofap. Just like how if you're going to the gym consistently for 2 years, you might skip 5 or even 10 workout sessions, but you're still active, you're still healthy. Same with the diet. If you have 5 to 10 cheat meals over the course of 2 years, you're still going to be on a diet. Nevertheless, it's not going to cancel out all of the effects. The only thing that will cancel all of the effects out is if you take each and every time that you have that cheat meal and you tell yourself that you aren't shit because of it. You have to learn to be compassionate especially at your lowest points. Be compassionate at your lowest points, and the compassion will stay there and it will expand. And that is what will help you take nofap and turn it into a lifestyle. Hey Jordan, I'm aware of the self-improvement habits, but I never start. I want to start a business, but I never start. I procrastinate on YouTube every day for hours. Do you have a solution? Yes. Prioritize the things that matter to you. Prioritize the things that matter to you. That's what it's going to come down to. Okay, I understand that it's difficult to get the ball rolling, probably because you're focused on doing too many things at once. You're trying to start self-improvement and start a business and do all of these things at once. When you try to transform your life overnight, unless you have a very strong emotional stimuli or emotional stimulus that is prompting you to do that, you're not going to be able to sustain it. Me personally, I was able to do that because I had a very strong emotional stimulus. And even then, I had to heal from that. Recently, I had to take some time to actually heal from that because even though I changed my life, I didn't change my innermost feelings. I still felt the same. So understand that it's a matter of looking at things for the long term. Every single month, implement one new habit of self-development that will help you elevate yourself. And at the end of the year, and by the way, every habit is going to carry over. So if you start cold showers in the month of July, and then August you start nofap, you're still going to be doing cold showers in August as well. But you're going to continuously add new habits, one every month. By the end of the year, you're going to be a different person. If you start right now doing that right there, you will be a completely different person by the end of the year. As far as your business goes, it's just a matter of momentum. Once you have the momentum going, you're going to continue to build upon that momentum. It becomes exponential. Who created the idea of relationships? As humans, are we supposed to be in relationships? Like, you don't just see animals in relationships. Does that affect population? Just a question. So I think that's definitely a good question, but you also have to understand that we as humans are not simple animals. We're not simple beings. Animals act primarily on instinct, whereas humans, we have the ability of cognizance, of discernment. We can discern what we want in this life, right? So my thing is this: if you're gonna apply that logic in one place, you have to apply it everywhere. Okay, so if you don't believe that we should be in relationships, that's fine, but we also shouldn't be working. We shouldn't be using currency systems. We shouldn't be going to outer space. We shouldn't be doing any of these things. So if you're prepared to go back to a primitive lifestyle, then yeah, for sure, that is a very applicable ideology in the context of your life. But you can't pick and choose which you can't pick and choose human nature. You either take it as a whole or you don't. So if you want to retain your ability to discern and to make rational decisions and to use your intuition as well, beyond just your instinctual intuition, that's where you can really advance as a human and have fulfilling relationships. Hey Jordan, hope you're having a great day. Thank you for all of your videos. It changed my life for sure. Jay and Zay TV, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. You've definitely changed my life as well. Would you ever date a girl that you went to high school with? A while back, I did have a rule that I would not do that, just because I felt like it kind of came from a place of resentment, just feeling like they had the opportunity back then and they didn't take it, so you don't get to be with me now. But I feel like that's kind of a limited way of thinking. I feel like if there's a girl that I went to high school with that I would click with very well, I don't see why not. I don't see, because I'm a completely different person than I was in high school. Completely different person. In fact, I don't think I could probably, a girl from high school could see me right now and they probably wouldn't even know it was me. They probably wouldn't know that it was me, like that same person that they went to high school with. I don't think a lot of people at my high school knew who I was, actually. So, how to build confidence. I literally just dropped a video on that a few days ago. Look up how to be confident. Just go to my channel. It's one of my most recent videos. How to be confident. How to be confident. Collab? What type of collab are you talking about? Hold on, I definitely need to check your channel out again, bro. Because you have some elite content for sure. As far as the, whatchamacallit? The impressions go, the impersonations. But what type of collab are you talking about? I think music sounds good, but I don't want to be programmed negatively. For example, if Daniel Caesar makes a song about love, but I'm not trying to become in love, is that how it works? Well, the thing is, what's wrong with being in love? Why deprive yourself of that feeling? I think that maybe for negative feelings that are more rooted in separation and limiting belief systems, and yeah, I do think that you should be very mindful of that. But as far as things like love and success and feelings like that, I specifically curate my playlists to feel those feelings. I feel like when it comes to attracting a woman, looks are the only things that matter. Is this true? Or is there a bigger picture to it? Also, I'm 16 and I look up to you. I appreciate the support and I'm glad that you are telling me this so that I can so I can set you straight real quick, man, because that is not the case, bro. That is not the case. I will tell you that right now, firsthand, that is not the case. Just having looks will get you in the door with some women. Some women don't care about looks at all. I know that because I've seen certain combinations of women with men I'm like, bro, how the fuck? This man is just built different. But looks can get you in the door, they won't keep you in the room. Okay, so you got to think about what personality traits do you bring to the table. Women, by and large, want a feeling of security, and men do as well. Somebody asked me in my emails today what men look for in relationships. I feel like everyone is looking for the same thing. It's security. Why else would you be getting into a relationship? Okay, if you just want sex, if you want sensual pleasure, you're not going to look for a relationship. You're going to look for hookups. You're going to look for one night stands or friends with benefits. If you want a relationship, you're looking for security. If you're not in tune with yourself, however, if you're insecure, you're not going to look for security. You're going to look for validation. Okay? Very, very big difference. Some people confuse the two. They feel like them receiving constant validation is a sense of security, and it's not. Okay, so understand that in relationships, your ability to provide a woman with a sense of security, that is going to determine the success of not only the success rate for getting into a relationship, but the success rate for keeping a relationship, because those are two completely different challenges. Now, how do you do that? You develop authentic confidence, authentic self-love. When you love yourself, you are going to naturally emanate a feeling of self-assuredness that women and people in general can pick up on. For example, if I come on my channel talking about the law of attraction, but I sound completely uncertain about what I'm talking about, my message won't resonate with you because you don't think that I believe what I'm talking about. Whereas if I come on here speaking my truth and speaking it with conviction, which is what I do, my message will resonate with you naturally because I have more confidence. Therefore, it gives you a sense of security. That's why you watch my videos. That same principle applies everywhere. Live chat collab. So here's my thing with collabs right now, bro. I've been telling people this since like last year, but I'm trying to kind of scale back on collabs in general, just because I feel like it depends on how we do the collab. We can maybe do something on your channel if you want to, but I'm really just trying to establish my own brand right now without doing too many collabs. But what I've been telling people is that later on in the year, if you reach out to me, I might be more likely to do that collab. Because if you're following up, a lot of people aren't going to follow up with me. So if you're one of the people that follows up later on this year, you'll probably get that collab. And okay, I think this one is going to be the last question that I answer, but yo, Jordan, you've changed my perspective on life and I want to thank you. I appreciate you, bro. I wanted to ask, how do I ask my parents to let me go out more so I can talk to and meet more people? I'm 15 in a few months. When you say go out more, what are you referring to? Because you can go, like, are your parents strict to the extent that they're not letting you leave the house at all? Because in that case, you have to use the internet, use Omegle and YouTube. But if you can, I mean, go to parks. If you're 14, you're probably in school. Go to school, talk to people in school. Like you should have ample opportunities to interact with people at this age. You don't need to go out to clubs and bars you're 14. So, I mean, where do 14-year-olds hang out? The mall? You don't have to go to places like that to interact with people. You don't have to go to parties. Literally make it a habit to interact with the people wherever you are. So if you're at the gym, interact with the people there. If you're at the park, interact with people there. Just interact with the people who are where you are. And with that being said, actually, I'm gonna answer this one right here. Jordan, why is your name Jordan? My parents named me Jordan after Michael Jordan. That was the inspiration behind my name, Michael Jordan. So shout out to Michael Jordan. But I appreciate you guys for stopping by. I need to go get groceries because I am down to my last 2 pieces of bread and a couple of bananas. I need to go get some food. Okay, so with that being said, I appreciate you guys for stopping by, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you're watching this afterwards, whatever, if you made it to the end of the stream, then you're definitely a real one. You're an OG. You are built different. And hopefully I was able to provide some type of insight to you and help you elevate your life and just stay true to the title of this video, which is watch this if you want to improve your life. With that being said, I will be going live again next week 1 week from today at around the same time, 2 to 3 o'clock p.m., somewhere around there. Central US time, that is. So, yeah, other than that, stay tuned for all of the videos, uploading every single day moving forward. And yeah, that's about it, man. That's about it. Hey, if you want personalized one-on-one advice, reach out to me on Wizio. Okay, look. Wizio.com/Jordan Green. You look that up right there. And you can get personalized advice. I need to go get some food, bro. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. And no outro. We're just going to end.